Hi dear friends, welcome back to Akshadare. I am your Devraj. Today is 22nd September. I hope you guys are enjoying and doing great and learning and earning great. So before going to start today's session, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment so that I can bring very informative videos in the upcoming days, in the upcoming videos. So let's start and let's see what's in today's news. Visa service passed Hamid Canada Tazil. MEA says work at missions in Canada it owing to security threats faced by Indian diplomats hints at reducing number of Canadian diplomats. Harris clears wins bill anonymously. ISRO set to switch on Vikram Pragyan again. Pak national election to be held in January. Is boycott of news anchors justified? They merely toe the line of channel promoters. India Australia ODI series from today. Boy killed as wall collapses in a school. SC in order to intervene in water release water release order. Speeding, negligence, and jumping signal key reasons for accidents at junctions on Vasur Road. In the last 3 years, 25 major accidents were reported at Konapanagrara Junction on Vasur Road that has both entry and exit points to Nice Road and the road connecting Electronic City. Man booked for forcing a female friend to convert. 12-year-old boy killed as wall collapses in residential school. DJ and IGP DAX police personnel to adhere to speed limit on highways. KA enables registration portal for PG NEET and WET. PG NEET. Hello, children rescued from beggary to be breastfed by their mothers. HC tells state. BBMP told to pay 55.65 crore the remaining outstanding of beggary cess to the Central Relief Panel. Metro CMRS completes inspection of Bayapana Ali to KR Pura line. Traffic police clear drain draw applause. Forest Minister asks zoo officials across state to be on alert. Illegal admission NMC to take action against GR Medical College. Karnataka State Handicraft Development Corporation Limited. Kaveri Water sharing row after SSC setback. State likely to wait for SCWMA meeting to make a next move. Karnataka is left with no choice but to release 5,000 cusecs of water daily as stipulated by the authority right now. Sources. Karnataka's share of women representation in assembly lowest among southern states. Currently, of the 10 women in Karnataka Legislative Assembly, there are from the BJP, 3 are from the BJP, 4 from Congress, 2 from the JDS, and 1 is an independent. Gandhi schemes announced in manifesto cannot amount to corrupt practices. Sidramaya contents before HC. Department launches a drive against coaching institutes evading GST. Owners of ensuring inclusion of all citizens in welfare schemes and governments, say experts. At the Trustworthy Digital Identity International Conference, experts highlighted the need for inclusion being the North Star while designing a universal digital ID system. Meta Award winner Unkaro is back in Bengaluru. The play has three captivating tales interlacking each other to explore the transformative power of strength and hope. Karnataka Poke in Focus, Nuggets of History. Tulu is mother tongue of 10 million people. The early script of Tulu language, an iconic cinema in Mangaluru, first national award for a Tulu film. Bisati Basu got the first state award. Through films, a time to explore potential behind comedies. Films Observer says the distinct language and culture of Tulu offers abundant and varied material to experiment with. Korama. New Pamban Bridge may miss its November deadline. BJP JDS alliance close to being formalized with HDK set to meet top BJP leaders. Prime Minister Modi and JDS patriarch HD Devegowda may also hold direct talks if required, says Kumar Swam. Spotlight challenges in testing and treatment of rare diseases. Treatment for six rare disease patients in Karnataka under the center's grant of 50 lakh each was stopped recently because the funding limit had been reached. While it has now partially resumed with money released from the Karnataka government, sustainable management and treatment remains a huge challenge. Option has been speaks to patients and families and takes an overview of the treatment scenario. Genetic testing has been offered for free to all patients at Indira Gandhi Institute of Child Health for the last 15 years. Toy libraries might be a nascent concept in India, but these individuals are striving to give children access to a range of toys without parents stressing over hefty bills and storage space. Iceland of shared toys. Color Me Mime. On the International Week of the Deep, we explore Museum of Art and photography's various disabled-friendly initiatives. Poetry and motion. Swarthal brings together three artists from varied classical backgrounds, propelling India's development the right way. Let's read the sectorial page, which is important for the competitive exams. Only like excerpts from this article. Aim for the moons is a byword for any venture marked by extreme ambition bordering on the foolhardy. When India started space research in the 1960s, many thought it was being reckless, a struggling hang nation sinking some of its limited resources in a highly uncertain enterprise. Today, however, even the last of the naysayers must be convinced. In a matter of a few days, India became the first nation to land a rover on the south pole of the moon, followed up with a mission to study the sun. Yet, this is also the moment to revisit a nagging concern. How do such stellar achievements stand alongside the persistence of poverty and destitution for millions of Indians? Even before the government set up the Indian Space Research Organization in 1969, the country was having a significant research program in space science. It was then coordinated by the Department of Atomic Energy, which itself had been founded in the early 1950s. These were certainly not as isolated initiatives. Between 1951 and 1961, India established five Indian Institutes of Technology, which in no time grew into globally respected academic centers. The first two Indian Institutes of Management were inaugurated in 1961 during the two decades of 1950s and 1960s. A number of public sector units were established in diverse areas of industrial production that included steel, fertilizer, machine tools, electric machinery, drug production, and petrochemicals. Technology to remedy and development. Taken together, these public investments show that India was determined to become a serious player in advanced technologies of the time, despite the multifold challenges facing the young nation. New technologies, it was believed, would quicken the pace of development of the country, which had suffered from 2 centuries of colonialism. Vikram Sarabhai, the lead of India's space program, has had envisioned this was in the early 1960s. The satellites could be used for building a nationwide telephone system and for providing agricultural and health education. In fact, the momentous steps India had taken in the decades immediately after independence may be characterized as a moonshot approach to development, deploying modern industrialization to shake up the ills of the past. However, India's moonshot and development strategy was only partially successful. It has also been the subject of much criticism from certain quarters over the years. One was for its heavy reliance on public investment. Two, the investments were being misdirected. According to some economists, being a labor surplus country, they argue India should have stuck to its comparative advantages in labor intensive industries such as governments for Putway, rather than squandering the country's scarce savings in capital and technology intensive industries. But the time needed for a new technology to come to fruition is too long and the initial effort required is too steep. That it is unlikely to expect a private player to lead the moves to acquire it. There have been many missions for India's space mission, especially in the initial decades. A key factor behind the program's eventual success has been public funding, which did not waver for lack of short term commercial viability. It is not only that the benefits from a technology are long in coming, but they are also difficult to be kept exclusive for private profiteering. Consider, for instance, the internet. It is precisely because of the public good nature of technologies that public sector support becomes crucial for developing them. Needless to say, the internet emerged from a research program funded by the United States government with military objectives in the late 1950s. In India, the technological capabilities built through state support provided the base for the flourishing of private enterprise in many sectors, including pharmaceuticals, information technology, and the space sector too, more of it likely in the years ahead. Professionals who were earlier trained in India's public universities have found leadership positions globally, which has deepened India's strategic importance. Inequalities here adult for progress. Lackluster record for India's development strategy then was not on account of the government doing too much in the area of technology building. But on the contrary, it was because the state or the government could not intervene effectively to reduce inequalities or ensure social development. Independent India did not implement a successful program of land redistribution. Ownership of assets continued to be very low among the socially oppressed communities, including Dalits or the scheduled castes or SC population. For the downtrodden, disadvantages due to the lack of assets translate into adults in acquiring education given that India has consistently under invested in basic education for the masses. As a result, the historically determined inequalities in the social spheres get replicated in the labor market, with the better paying jobs giving going more to the privileged groups who have had greater access to higher education. In 2021 to 22, over 38.2% of all SC workers were casual, earning their livelihoods mostly out of hard manual labor. The corresponding proportion was 11.2% for workers belonging to the other general category as periodic labor post survey data. The contrast with the East Asian countries, including Japan and China, is notable. There, by the 1950s itself, land reforms and other measures had created a relatively egalitarian social structure, which formed the basis for the progressive economic and social changes in the later years. The persistence of inequalities has negatively impacted industrial and economic growth in India. Domestic demand has been lopsided, coming as it does largely from the upper income classes, who constitute only a small, though substantial in absolute numbers, segment of the population. This has slowed down the growth of manufacturing of high quality mass consumption goods, including food products and garments. Entrepreneurship too has emerged from a narrow social base. Reinstate state support. Looking forward, we needed to have a clear recognition of what went wrong and where we got it right. With the ambitious development strategy India launched immediately after independence, the audacious attempt to build technological and industrial capabilities with generous state support was the correct thing to do. The country must reinstate such efforts if it has to stand a chance in fast growing economic fields, be it semiconductors or biotechnology. After 1991, India abandoned planning for industrial growth, assuming mistakenly that there is no role for industrial policy in a globalized economy. It will be costly to continue with the terror now, at a time when both the United States and China are lavishing government support for the industries. At the same time, India must redouble efforts to make economic growth more inclusive and broad-based. Education, especially higher education, should be accessible to all, including the dispossessed. India's mission to use technology to propel itself to a higher level of development it is up one. Now, if the country's billion strong masses acquire the social and the human capabilities required for upward mobility, that will be the equivalent of a lunar takeoff in economic progress. Let's go to the next article written by somebody, Sajwak Agarwal, a light bulb movement for the Indian fan market. Even in the humid weather of August and September, as in the dry heat of May, the ceiling fan continues to provide comfort to many in India. The ceiling fan market is undergoing a churn too, driven by policy imperatives and a regulation change. But the fan market must learn from the successes and the hiccups of the light emitting diode bulb story. The policy imperative driving the challenge in the fan market is energy transition is in a world that must grow sustainably with a changing climate. India's goal of reducing harmful emissions per unit of GDP by 45% by 2030 relative to 2005 requires a sharp reduction in the energy consumed for economic activity. Households account for nearly a third of all electricity consumed in India, and ceiling fans, used by 95% of households as per a Council on Energy, Environment and Water Survey of 2020, represent about a quarter of household electricity consumption. The India's Cooling Action Plan projects that the number of fans in use in India could grow to a billion by 2038, from about 500 million now as incomes grow along with average temperatures. The Star Rating Program. Given the importance of fans, the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, India's energy efficiency regulator under the Union Ministry of Power, made the standards and labeling program, popularly known as the Star Rating Program, mandatory for ceiling fans in May 2022. This was This was a long awaited shift from the voluntary program implemented in 2009. But 5-star fans, the star rating costs twice as much as a typical unrated fans. Not a small barrier adoption in India's price sensitive market. To tackle this, Energy Efficiency Research Services Limited is planning a demand aggregation program to sell 10 million 5-star ceiling fans. The program hopes to transform the fans market much like it did for LED lamps under the famous Unnat Jyoti by Affordable LEDs for All program. The Ujala program, launched in 2015, helped reduce the price of LED lamps from 400 to 90 in a span of 3 to 4 years. But ceiling fans are a more complex appliance than LEDs. Here are four measures for a sustainable and a beneficial transformation of the fans market. Steps to a transformation. First, maintain a technology agnostic policy. Demand aggregation is most effective when a single technology specification is procured in bulk. In the case of LEDs, it was the 9 watt white light LED bulb, but fans have a wider spectrum of technology, each with its own trade offs. A policy that covers more than one specification would be more cost effective in the long run. A typical ceiling fan uses the time tested induction motor, which is rugged but may have limits on energy performance. The newer kid on the block, the brushless DC motor, is the only commercially available technology so far that meets the 5-star performance benchmark. But it has a high import dependency for components. Other motor designs are either underdeveloped, too costly, or have an even higher import dependence. As BEE's regulation change kickstarts innovation, demand aggregation under a technology agnostic policy must let manufacturers offer different technologies to consumers so that they can compete and the market transformation is cost effective. EESL's intended to create a platform for demand aggregation is a welcome step in this direction. Second, manage the balance between price reduction and quality. The intense pressure on price on LEDs during the Ujala program led to lower quality products entering the market with higher failure rates. A 2019 study found that half the LED brands were not non-compliant with safety standards, while replacing a bulb is easy and cheap. Replacing a ceiling fan is inconvenient and costly. Low quality products could lead to a deficit of consumers' trust in the new technology, prompting them to revert to the old. To make the transition more sustainable, demand aggregation programs must let the market actors determine the trajectory of price reduction rather than enforcing it, boosting a domestic manufacture. Third, foster high quality domestic manufacturing capacity for high efficiency fans, while the growth of the LED market has spawned new manufacturers and brands. India arguably missed the bus on maintaining the quality of local manufacturing and reducing import dependence for components. India can leverage its massive domestic market to achieve economies of scale for finished products and the components and expand into the export market. India already exported about 5 million fans in 2021, primarily to the United Arab Emirates, Nepal, Ghana, Sri Lanka, Sudan, and Iraq. As more countries impose minimum energy performance standards for fans, Indian quality and performance standards must be updated to align with international ones to ensure that manufacturers are competitive. And finally, dedicate resources to strengthening the standard and labeling program. At least 30% of India's ceiling fans market may be unorganized. This segment is likely to be a late adopter of new technologies and will keep selling cheaper. Inefficient fans to price sensitive or unassuming consumers in the meantime. BEE and its state designated agencies must use their market monitoring powers to ensure that products with authentic energy performance labels reach consumers. Non-compliant models are taken out of the market, and barriers to selling new energy efficient models are lowered. Fans are undergoing their first major phase of a disruption in decades. Energy efficient fans cannot only help the vulnerable population get access to a critical service for coping with events of extreme heat with lower electricity bills, but are also central to India's clean energy transition and can play a part in its economic growth. This is about the fan industries. Gold and India is hoping to put up its best showing at in Asia. Let's go to the next page. Is the opposition's decision to boycott certain news anchors justified? We needed to get enough viewers to care about the fact that if the revenues models are broken. And the only way you can run a big newsroom is with a corporate or political money. You are not going to get high quality journalism. Empty chairs and empty tables, tales of diplomatic stand ups. In the new age of social media and diplomatic brinkmanship, it has become more difficult to keep things civil. Another Khalistan operative gunned down in Canada. Lawrence Bishnov gang has claimed responsibility for the killing of Sukhdev Singh, but Indian agencies yet to confirm it. Rivalry between two gangs is said to have resulted in the killing. NIA releases pictures of 10 Khalistan operatives, 6 in info. Those wanted are accused in the case of attack at the Indian consulate in San Francisco. Akali Dal chief meets Shaw, hopes ties with Canada will improve. 50 injured as women throng police stations in Manipur's Valley districts. RS clears women's bill anonymously. Indian diplomats in Germany meet Hariha, but parents denied access. Christians being targeted over conversion charge. In opposite picture, Rahul arrests Congress hopes, Kong hopes. The battle between the BJP and the Congress in the heartland is actually one for OBC minds. And the second leg of Bharat Jodo Yatra will traverse this region where OBC mobilization is a key factor. Congress leaders knows that this battle against Modi will be fought among this community. Visitors raise slogan in Rajya Sabha, opposition protests. RJD stands alone in demand for sending quota bill to House panel. Ready to speak on border stand up with China and LS Rajnath. BJP and its decades long preparation to leverage a women's reservation bill. Office of the Director General Medical Education and Training, Uttar Pradesh. Bombay High Court rejects Piguti Mehul Choksi's pleas. China, US, and India absent at UN's Climate Ambition Summit. Representatives from 34 states and 7 institutions were given the floor on the day of the summit. All the G20 governments will be asked to commit to presenting by 2025 more ambitious economy-wide and nationally determined contributions. SEC to issue orders on sale of firecrackers in Delhi. Watch duty time limitations for air traffic controllers. Panel suggests GPS trackers to reduce overcrowding in prisons. ISRO hoping to wake up Vikram and Pragyan today. Sarojha Vaidyanathan, Bharatanatyam dancer, passes away. Air India's chief of flight safety face DGCA action. Worship of Lord Narasimha. Charles Brochus plans UK entente on environment at Senate. 16 civilians killed in 2 separate attacks by jihadists in Burkina Faso. US offers work permits to nearly 5 lakh Venezuelans. Syrian president arrives in China on first visit since beginning of war. Uncertainty ends. Park decides to hold national election on January 2024. Polls were supposed to have taken place within 90 days since Parliament was dissolved, but the Election Commission said it needed more time to redraw constituencies following the latest consensus. Final list of constituencies will be out on November 30. Zelensky wins defense deal, faces a hate battle in US. Media magnate Rupert Murdoch steps down as head of Fox Corp. China Russia must deepen cooperation. Armenia decrees Azerbaijan violence. Purchases of homes while Kalkas have dented savings, not distress. FinMin links 46-year low savings rate to changing preferences. Higher borrowing signal confidence in future employment income prospects. Acquiring real assets. Large pumps get debit issuance flexibility. Manipal acquires 84% stake in AMRI Hospitals for 2,300 crore. TRA outlines broadcast policy. India Maritime University. ICL to raise 70 crore via land sale Ultratech. IPO Prenji helps pumps raise almost 12,000 crore in September. Aparnaya named Wipro's CFO. Sable hopes to put behind Budapest disappointment. Antim wins world bronze books a ticket for Paris. Virat and Rohit need to get into the first game in the right frame. Marnus was our best batter in South Africa and will get a chance. India enters last four with better ranking. Chatri's late penalty conversion keeps India's hopes alive. Belief is the only thing that matters, says Bopana. Communications clock puts the visitors' survival to severe test. A golden opportunity for both India and Australia to try out their combinations before the World Cup. Riders give a thumbs up to the Buddh International Circuit. Tech 3's Espargaro throws his support to behind the track, but says about safety there are things that can be improved. But in most tracks in the world, there are places we would like to improve. Leading lights trace their Mahindra Link. Current scores 150 for Northamptonshire. FC Deccan gets Northamptonshire. ISL 10 Kerala Blasters begin with a bang, brushes away bitter memories. Bayan beats back spirited Man United. India blanks Bangladesh in the SAFFU Under 19 Championship. Auspicious Queen appeals most. Contributor triumphs. Tackling the pressure of a gold medal defense. Iran, which ended India's Kabaddi hegemony in the Asian Games, will look for an anchor, but will it be as straightforward this time around? Athano and Dheeraj have the potential to become a champions, Tarun Deep. Lurking blood pressure poses a huge health risk in India. Insights from WHO's report on hypertension and recent research highlight a considerable need for improvement in managing hypertension as a public problem in India. PCOS, hidden toll of academic pressure on adolescent girls. Research confirms that adolescents raised in an environment conducive to healthy choices have a lower risk of developing PCOS. Text and context. India's rank in the Economic Freedom Index of 165 nations. The UN peacekeepers who were asked to leave Congo. The UN applications for unemployment benefits in September 2 lakh. Funding announced by the US to make at home COVID tests. The number of deer to die at the biological park in Bangalore. Tracking India's growth trajectory. With inflationary pressures, a falling rupee, fluctuations in tax revenue streams, and an apprehensive outlook on the agriculture sector in Q1 financial year 24, India's reported growth and narrative may be over embellished. How will Biden impeachment yearns impact elections? Why have the Republicans moved forward with their plan? What are the allegations against Hunter Biden, the president's son? Did the impeachment of Donald Trump play a role? The reluctance of Tamil cinema to explore niche and Wade romances. The term niche is often relegated to only a doomed romance or a well fought for relationship between two stockly different characters. Seldom have creators in the last few years explored the crevices that divide two people who carry billions of dreams and desires. On September 22, 1999, the popular show The West Wing created the Aaron Sorkin debuted on American television. Here is a quiz on the award-winning show. This is the last page, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the newspaper reading. For more, like if you want to improve your communication, like just read 2 hours a day. It will make you very better in communication. So see you in the upcoming videos, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care, and please subscribe. I'm requesting you again. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.